This is to the west-southwest of Pauls Valley, just on the northern sides of Elmore City, but there's circulation very close to Elmore City right now, and it is traveling toward Pauls Valley. Pauls Valley 445, Wynnewood 448, Stratford at 517. Those are the two most serious storms in the state, and if you're in the path of either one of these, you need to be in a very safe location as these move through. There are tornadoes on the ground down at the Red River. That's out of our viewing area, and there are also tornadoes on the ground north of Tulsa up in Washington County. That is also out of our viewing area. Thunderstorms do continue in the South Metro. The primary threat with these is hail up to about quarter size. These are not especially severe based on what we've had earlier today, but that lead storm, Kevin and Linda, you see that between Jacktown and Meeker. That is an imminent tornado, I think likely still on the ground on Highway 62, maybe the northern sides of town heading directly for Meeker. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Mike. We have some new information. Mid-Dell schools have released students on buses. Some are walking right now. Kids from one damaged school are gathering at 156th and Vicky in the Stone Meadows neighborhood. And there's been some flooding at the airport as well. But of course, the flooding is the least of our worries right now when we have the kind of damage we do in Moore.
We're still waiting to hear officially from the Moore school system to find out if children were being sheltered in place at the two schools that were destroyed, Briarwood Elementary and Plaza Towers Elementary. We have received a phone call from a parent only. Let me emphasize that. This is a parent who said they had received phone calls earlier in the day to say that Moore public schools were on lockdown until the tornado passed. That is not official word. It's simply our first indication from a parent in Moore about what may have happened. But we have our fingers crossed that those children are all safe. This was taken by Bob Moore, Chopper 4 earlier.
This was earlier video as when the clouds cleared and John Welsh could see what was happening. And John lives in this area. He lives just a little bit north of there. His home was not affected by this, but his wife and kids, of course, took shelter. They're okay. They text him, but just a little bit to the south of him, you saw what the damage was. A lot of his friends and neighbors there, and we are just hoping for the best on these casualty reports that should be coming in soon.
We feel your frustration as well because cell phones aren't working in that area. It's impossible to get information from individual families right now, and we know how frantic you are to have word of your loved ones. We're working as quickly as we can to get any confirmed information back to you that's possible. Right now, rescue and search and rescue crews are on the scene, but so far we've had no word of fatalities or injuries that we can report back to you. They are working frantically to do what they can in an area that has been quite literally devastated.
It's been, many areas have been wiped clean in that area, unfortunately, like back in '99. Adam Mertz, one of our many crews on the scene right now. Adam, what can you tell us from your vantage point? It looks like complete destruction behind you.
And where are you?
It really is. We are at the Orr family farm. We arrived here about 5 minutes ago, and there is absolutely nothing left out here. This is where the horse stalls were, we're told. We just spoke with Dr. Orr, the owner here, and you could see the entire landscape here. This is 106 acres completely wiped out by the path of this tornado that just tracked right through this area. You can't even tell what any of this stuff was. One of the first questions I had for them when I got out here, I said, were these homes? What was this? You honestly can't even tell. But they tell me that these were horse stalls out here where they'd store a ton of these horses. A lot of the animals didn't make it through the storm. And then if you look farther off in the distance, you can see homes that are on the other side of this property. So we're talking about just complete and utter devastation out here. And right now, the people that I've spoken to, a lot of the people that are related to the family that runs this farm out here, they're just trying to find some of these animals. A lot of them are in very bad shape. They're going to have to put them down immediately because of just what they went through. But again, when you look across, I mean, if we just kind of pan over here to the left, you see that plume of smoke. I believe Bob Moore Chopper 4 was over that earlier. And then just you can see the path of how this tornado just kind of came right through here. And it gives you an idea of how wide it was. Because, I mean, from where I'm standing, I'm looking hundreds of yards to the south of me, and I can't even see past the devastation. And it's on every single side of us. So you're talking about just a huge path that this tornado just carved right through the center of this farm here, through residential neighborhoods, and then up right through the heart of Moore, really. And again, if you look off in the distance, you can see some people running out there. They're running to go check on animals. People just keep showing up here in tears. I mean, it is just absolutely heartbreaking.
Adam,
The only
think
thing
you're talking about the devastation. Mike Morgan said at one point that twister was 2.25 miles wide. So that gives us some idea of what you're looking at right now.
And Adam, we also got word that between 75 and 100 horses were killed on that farm. And as you said, many others unfortunately will have to be put down especially if they suffer things like broken legs.
Adam, we spoke to Dr. Orr a little bit earlier, and we can see some of the people around there who appear to be employees of Orr Farms. Where did they ride out the twister? Do you have any idea about that yet? I know you just arrived on the scene, but do you know?
Well, when I got here, I immediately spoke to Dr. Orr. He's driving around in a golf cart just surveying the damage, looking for any animals. And he actually had to pull away from us because they'd found some horses that were off in the distance that needed immediate attention. Out here, we can see some law enforcement officers have showed up as well. They're here sporadically, but one of the things we noticed as we were making our way out to this area, the power's knocked out everywhere. So no matter what street you're on, you can't get through. But you just saw this steady stream of police, ambulance, OG&E workers, everyone just trying